Okay, so I wanted to answer some of you guys' questions based off of the teachings in the Bible. If you didn't know, I used to be an astrologer who also believed in God. And then I started reading the Bible. And then through me reading the Bible, I was able to learn why you shouldn't use like modern spiritual practices like astrology and tarot and readings if you do believe in God. In the Bible, it says the only way to the truth is through Jesus Christ. So when I say the truth, I mean the answers you seek through other stuff like astrology, like readings, which I have realized was the reason maybe why I didn't understand, because number one, I never read the Bible, so I didn't even know that until I read the Bible. And number two is I didn't know Jesus. Even though I believed in God, I would only pray to God, and in the Bible it literally says that Jesus is the one that you should be talking to, like, because he's the only one that could provide the truth. That was like the two things where I'm like, oh, no wonder I didn't know, because I didn't understand that. The next one, which was something I was wondering, which is why can't we just use both then? So in the Bible, it talks about like believing with your full heart, and how believing in other things or looking at other things can distract us from fully understanding. For example, I was using the Bible while I was still doing astrology stuff and all that. And I realized that it was hard for me to fully understand the Bible while I was also still looking at the daily astrologies and getting readings, because the messaging would be mixed. Because on one end, the Bible is saying one thing, and then I would get other stuff. So it was like confusing me. Oh, and I forgot to add this, but this is very important and something that I actually wouldn't want to accept. But spiritual deception is a thing. And it talks about in the Bible how if you were looking at anything that does not come from the direct source, you are making yourself susceptible to spiritual deception. And it makes you believe that you're receiving the truth when you really aren't. And you'll know that, see that through like the reflection of your life, like I did, like repeating the same cycles and always feeling like this like empty feeling inside, just not like you're always like you're fully satisfied, if that makes sense. Even if your external is good, it's like this lack of satisfaction, which is causing you to look for more things, look outward for more, if that makes sense. Like instant gratification often is causing like more confusion and deceiving. It often conflicts the truth that's presented in the Bible, which is the problem too. So that's why it was necessary for me to fully let go of that so I could be able to fully understand. And even as I was trying to learn more, like reading the Bible, when I started reading the Bible at first and I was still like looking at astrology stuff, I had to be honest with myself. But even though I was trying, I would start to notice that I would gradually start to gravitate towards putting the other things before prayer and reading the Bible, because that seems to provide instant gratification. So it was a distraction and deceiving. It was also helpful for me to find a Bible study group that helped me to like stay like accountable by being with other people, which through prayer Jesus led me to. So that was also funny. The last thing I want to clarify, because like I said in the beginning, I believed in God, but I didn't know Jesus. And I feel like that's a lot of the missing pieces in a lot of people who are confused, like how I was, and just honestly didn't know a lot about like where the truth come from, who the truth comes from. And also know that in the Bible it talks about the same thing we go through. A lot of people believing in God and Jesus and then getting distracted by external things, and that leading to more confusion. So that's why it's also important to let go of anything that distracts you from you having a full relationship with God and Jesus, to really fully understand. So yeah, if you have any more questions or need any other clarity, leave it in the comments down below. I hope this helps.